Of course.
You want to meet Mr. Roald Dahl? Roald Dahl? You ready?
RD, yeah. Let me see.
RD, here he is.
I can't say his name, so I'm RD.
Good evening, Mr. Green.
Hello, my favorite N-word.
Do not change my books. They're precious. They're precious books.
I may be wrong, but this man, like he says the N-word twice a day.
In the Gollum voice.
Jesus.
You're all N-words. I hate them forever. We're talking about censorship.
Uh-huh.
And censorship sometimes can be selective with people. So we have, Oz, you ready?
Of course.
You want to meet Mr. Roald Dahl? Roald Dahl? You ready?
RD, yeah. Let me see.
RD, here he is.
I can't say his name, so I'm RD.
Good evening, Mr. Green.
Hello, my favorite N-word.
Do not change my books. They're precious. They're precious books.
I may be wrong, but this man, like he says the N-word twice a day.
In the Gollum voice.
Jesus.
You're all N-words. I hate them forever. So Mr. Roald Dahl died at the age of 76 back in 1990. He did a lot of things. He did some books that you might know or might not know, or you heard of them and did not know he did them, like Matilda, James and the Giant Peach. What was the? No, there's another one that was on the right tip of my tongue. Of course, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and Willy Wonka and the glass elevator. The Chad is mentioning this. He did The Witches. So he did a lot of books that later became probably at the time were very controversial because, he was not the kindest writer to children, at least children in his books. I think in Willy Wonka, you did not once, and tell me if I'm wrong, y'all, in the book, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, once those kids suffered whatever thing that happened to them, we're talking about like Augustus Gloop and Veruca Salt and all of them, they got shuffled off and we never saw them again.
Yeah, it was a situation that they were done.
Yeah, they were out. So maybe they were okay, maybe they weren't. We don't know. But I know those books were very controversial because the kids were not always treated, in the most kind fashion. So I don't know if this is what's happening with his books now, but they're saying there are changes that are going to be made to his books. The news that changes have been made to the works of best-selling children's author Roald Dahl has been met with anger from leading writers, including Booker Prize winner Salman Rushdie, who branded the changes absurd censorship. Dahl, who died, and by the way, this is on CNN. Dahl, who died in 1990 at the age of 76, was the creative characters such as Matilda, the BFG, Fantastic Mr. Fox. I did not know that he did the Fantastic Mr. Fox. That is one I did not know. Oh, Roald Dahl, you sly fox, you're so full of surprises.
Don't talk to me.
Shut your black mouth. I gotta stop that picture. That picture just makes me laugh now. And I'm getting mad at it because of you.
Yeah.
What the look at that.
Exactly.
Says here, it has now emerged that current editors of his books published by Puffin feature the following wording at the bottom of the copyright pages. Words matter. The wonderful words of Roald Dahl can transport you to different worlds and introduce you to the most marvelous characters. The book was written many years ago, and so we regularly review the language to ensure that it can continue to be enjoyed by all today, which means that we continue to change things so they won't our money. Come on, y'all. Let's go ahead and just say what this is.
Of course. Of course.
This is where it gets weird because people have talked about changing books, and recently we ran into some similar situation with Mr. Theodore Giesel. who many of you know as Dr. Seuss. Mm-hmm. Now, Dr. Seuss, they were changing some of his books because there was racist imagery in there. And I know some people who say, well, that's what they should do. That's justified. So a lot of people are saying, all right, no, again, well, now we're talking about double standards. If you're going to talk about censoring Dr. Seuss's books to take out racist imagery, you cannot say the same thing about Roald Dahl. You cannot say that we can censor his books also if you don't want to censor Dr. Seuss. Or if you're on the flip side saying, yes, we should censor Dr. Seuss books, then you know what? Then you have to say you're okay with them censoring Roald Dahl's books also. I don't see what you think about this, Oz, but I think I have an argument here. The difference is, first of all, I think that there should be uncensored versions of Dr. Seuss's books left out there for people to get, enjoy for whatever reason. But those are history, and they should be left untouched. I don't think it's cool to sell these books to children who might be hurt by those images. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I do think you have to have a book sold to these children where they're not going to be, you know, and I'm not even saying offended. I'm talking about looking at this and thinking like, why is this man looking at me like this and making me look like this? So why am I cool with them? Why am I not cool with them changing Roald Dahl's books? Well, first of all, I never said get rid of those books at all. Don't get rid of these books. They have a place. I don't know what those places are, but they have a place. I say keep them in their existence. But I think the difference with Roald Dahl, and I don't want to see his book censored, is because, well, first of all, it depends on what it is. If they're talking about what I think it is, where they don't think children can handle edgy situations of violent situations or things where the images or wording that are hurting children, I think that children can handle that. I think, you know, I grew up with those books, man. I read Roald Dahl books when I was coming up. And I think at this point, two things are happening. You're talking down to kids, thinking that they can't handle these things. And second of all, you're just doing this because you want to make sure that it's not impacting your sales. What do you think about that, Mr. Dahl? For an N-word, you are correct, sir. You are very bright.
Let's not get too crazy.
I'm surprised you speak so well. But
you must have heard that from someplace else.
And if there are racist images in the books, then yeah, maybe those should be taken out and not given to children. I think children can handle certain situations. I don't think that children should, you know, feel bad about images in there. And by the way, I'm not even saying that they should be protected from that. At some point, I think they should be exposed to those books and say, this is what they're really like. You know, I'm the person that says release Song of the South. Just don't release it like it's something to be celebrated. Release it in, you know, like in an archive somewhere so people can look at it as a piece of history, like it should be observed.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I would say is that, yes, I think as far as censorship goes, I think whatever's happened in the past should kind of stay where it is, right? Because that is a snapshot of what, you know, the world was at that time. You should not sugarcoat any of that stuff. Let that stay where it is. As far as children handling this stuff, they can handle these things if it is followed up with the conversation afterwards. You can't leave people or kids not know, especially when they're not worldly enough with a lot of these things, and take these books and maybe take it at face value, maybe not, depending on how they are, because you don't know how they are as far as taking stuff narratively. Yeah. But if you have these kids read this stuff and have a conversation about it, that smoothes over things so much better. You know what I mean? So yeah, have them read it, talk about it, have discussion, and kind of put it in the perspective of, yeah, this is where these things were. This was the sign of the times. Hopefully moving past these things, yada, yada, yada. Now, as far as, you know, taking these Dr. Seuss books and RD over there and doing stuff, they should do what they do with all these different properties, right? You know, reboot them, right? Leave the Dr. Seuss how it is, right? And reboot Dr. Seuss and just have it for, you know, a different generation at this point.
You're right. I don't think that, you know, it always comes down to people don't want to talk to their kids, you know? Kids can handle a lot. Kids can handle a lot, man, and you'll be surprised at what kids can handle. And, you know, like I said, nobody talked to me about my books when I was coming up. And these books, because they were written and no one made a big deal about them, I thought they were just fun. I thought I never walked away traumatized from reading about all a goose's glop being sucked into a tube. I never walked away having nightmares about that. All that stuff was fine with me. It was fun with me.
But you got to remember, who made a big deal about it when you read it? Nobody did. That's what I'm saying. 80s. Man, but again, this is today though. Everything's a big deal about everything. You understand what I'm saying? Every little thing is going to be a problem. Oh, my children can't hear that. And when the kids hear there's a problem, they're going to take on that persona too and think it's a problem. Instead of just saying, hey, man, just read it for what it is. You'll figure it out. Cool. But no, everything is a problem. So, when you start raising these issues, they're going to raise them too. I'm like, well, maybe I should be reading this. And what about this? What about that? This person's being emasculated. And this person, where are all these issues coming from?
Yeah,
you know
man,
what I mean? It's a
know.
lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. Internet, this person's doing that. This person's doing this. I read this was bad. This was not good. We didn't have that back then. You just read it and that was it. But now you have all these different outlets telling you about this one thing that shouldn't be an issue, becomes a huge issue because everybody has their agenda about it and how they think they want to let you know how you should feel about what you're reading instead of you just discovering it yourself. And this guy here.
I was about to agree with you until you said that to me, Ost.
I don't need your agreeance, RD.
Once an N-word, always an untrusty N-word.
Yo, I'm about to come through the screen.
We almost agreed on something, Austin. You have to open your black mouth. Something funny.
You're going to be angry at me, but you in black and white. Come on, man. Come at me. Come at me.
I'm glad you're not in the room. My computer would be broken right now.
Straight.
My computer be dead right now.
I'm about to dig this dude up myself. Yeah. Like, what you got to say now?
You have to find me first.
RD gonna be stamped for really dead soon.
RD, sir, means you're a real dick, Oz. That's mad. I'm getting mad now. I'm like, hey, stop talking to him like that. These kids are gonna be fine, man. We grew up on some really cool things. I also grew up in an age where you know what happened? They did the same thing to cartoons where they said, hey, listen, we can't have these things happening without lessons and consequences, and cartoons start to suck. Yeah, you know why you got cool cartoons today?
Oh, that's right.
Because nobody's coming in and telling you, you know why your cartoon is so edgy right now? Because no one's coming in and telling you gotta have a lesson in every goddamn cartoon you have. Your cartoons are just crazy right now, and that's amazing. They're fun. It's
fun, but at the same time, now they're adult cartoons now, right? They're being labeled as mature content, but you're right though, man.
I'm looking at the things like Gumball and
oh yeah, that crazy shit. Yeah, that's not Chris Herman, the body horror stuff.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at kids cartoons.
You're right.
They are.
You're right.
What do you call it? Time. What is it called? I keep wanting to say dinner time.
Adventure Time.
Adventure Time.
Adventure Time. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at all these cartoons.
Right. You're right. It went full circle. It went from, Tom and Jerry beating the shit out of each other, killing each other, Bugs Bunny dropping anvils and shit. Then it went to the 80s era with G.I. Joe at the end is supposed to be a little lesson at the end and all that craziness. Thundercats and all that, working together will make sure that Now it's, full circle showing a bunch of crazy shit. Yeah, you're right.
No, I'm looking at what happened, man. And it happened in the 90s. And now it's happening it's happening big time now where you got streaming services who come in and say that, hey, look, let me see here. Hold on. Look, we got cartoons now that can be put on any kind of format, and they can be for kids, but there can be stuff in there for adults. But let's not forget that in the 90s, once cartoons were they weren't under that rule or law anymore, that they got to teach a lesson that they can't be too edgy for kids because that's going to be bad for their brains. You got some great humor that was slipped in past the censors.
I found prints. No, fingerprints. I don't think so.
You know, they would slip in jokes like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well, man, that's some good discussions, man. Good stuff.
No, that was cool. And no chat cannot show RJ to Billy and Martin. They're not gonna get it. They're not gonna get
Stop asking me. All right.
They're not gonna get it.
Y'all ask every week like they're gonna be sitting up there just
RD.
like they just gonna start throwing confetti around and shit. Oh my god, just flipping around the room.
They're not gonna get it.
Cause Billy might laugh at it, but I'm gonna tell you, Martin's gonna be like, okay.
This is what y'all did, huh?
So y'all was, you know what Martin's gonna look like that.
So you two N-words were doing that.
Are you two N-words done yet? I'm waiting.
That's the thing. I even know this dude's racist or not, man, bro. I don't even know what that look. I don't like that look at all.
Well, I don't like your black look either.
Damn it, RD, I wish, boy. Woo! Man.